The Boinkers. So it seems that Turning Point USA has a major image problem. How do you like my little jingle in the beginning here? Because, one of the rumors going around is that Erika Kirk is sleeping with Vice President J.D. Vance, who knows? Or at least she's getting all touchy-feely with him. But she made a major Freudian slip, major gaffe. So she's got some guy on stage, some young dude from TPUSA. I think his name's Caleb. By the way, welcome back to the channel, Culture Confederacy here. It's Monday night. Happy Monday, everybody. And she's reading this prepared speech, right? You think these people could do things off the cuff? So at any rate, so she's reading this speech, and she makes a major slip. She says, and yes, after Charlie Kirk's death at UVU, Caleb has been grifting. He's been a gift. He's got grit. She was stumbling over her words. She couldn't figure out what she was going to say. And she says, leaning over the podium, oh, it's been a long day. It's been a long day. So I wrote an article yesterday over at Substack. Turning Point USA has an image problem, or when political machines go the way of Starbucks. I want to share this with you. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. Now, if you're new to the channel, I don't use any fancy graphics here. So what you see is what you get. It is what it is. And we talk about the news of the day, try to preserve great art, music, history, and culture. You might get a tinge of politics. But I think the fact that TPUSA was out there raising money shortly after Charlie Kirk's death, that Erika Kirk is out there everywhere you turn, she's got a camera in front of her. She was filming herself with a microphone, mind you, kneeling over Charlie Kirk's coffin, getting all touchy-feely. Oh, I love you. I love you. So it's just not looking good. And image is everything. Nowadays, unfortunately, image is everything. A good example of this is what happened in the 1960 election between, the debates between Nixon and Kennedy. And people actually on the radio who heard the debate on the radio, or people who listened to the radio rather than watching on TV. At the time, not as many people had TVs in their house. But the people who heard it on the radio liked Nixon more than they did Kennedy, but those who saw the debate on TV liked Kennedy more than Nixon. So again, image is everything. So let's get to this, and thank you again for watching and subscribing if I didn't say so. I don't claim to be a political analyst, pollster, or lobbyist, and that is true. I'm just a guy out here on YouTube. I observe things, I talk about them. And perhaps writing this article will seem like a fool's errand. That's okay, because my ultimate goal is speaking truth, a virtue absent from this weekend's M-Fest convention. And it was. It was completely absent from this convention, M-Fest. Rich with a roster of pundits, comedians, and hip-hop stars, the technically plagued 4-day bash, which it was, couldn't escape the infighting. Simply put, Turning Point USA has an image problem, one that goes far beyond the future direction of the organization or personality clashes. It's an implosion waiting to happen inside a house of cards. And I said before, I'll say it again, and I actually reiterate that at the end of the article here, that I wouldn't be surprised if Turning Point USA within the next year starts going the way of Starbucks. Remember, Starbucks just built themselves up so much that they were opening up merchandising stores and malls. Talked about that before. But I think they've grown too big too fast is one of their major issues. And of course, the fact that Erika Kirk is coming out there doing all these pressers, don't you think she would want time to grieve? Maybe make an occasional appearance. Then she's out there promoting, her former husband's book, So it just, like I said, not a good look. But if they're not careful, it will be like an implosion inside a house of cards. And pardon me, I'm kind of under the weather here, so my voice is kind of out of whack. This isn't to say TPUSA lacks financial stability. The Phoenix-based machine has an annual revenue of $85 million last time I checked. Now, if that's increased or if I'm correct here, you can let me know in the comment section below. But based on my research, it looked like it was $85 million, their annual revenue. Their expenditures nearly $81 million. According to Turning Point's own TPUSA college site, there are currently over 800 chapters on campuses across the United States. So this is a big organization. That number exploded after the assassination of Charlie Kirk in September. Listen to this, 32,000 requests, 32,000 to start a new chapter within a 48-hour period. That's unprecedented. Add to this 1,200 high school active chapters on Turning Point's current roster, and this is split amongst Turning Point Endowment, Turning Point Action, and TPUSA Faith. But membership or growth isn't their dilemma. Enter Erika Kirk, Charlie's widow. Her ongoing media blitz and constant tear-wiping is sure to be the latest excuse for 20-something drinking parties. 1 shot of vodka for every time she wipes her eyes with a tissue, 2 shots of gin if she can do so without ruining her mascara or losing an eyelash. Let me know in the comment section below. Have you had drinking parties surrounding this every time that she's wiped her eye with a tissue or she's lost an eyelash? I'd like to know. Her WrestleMania entrance and outlandish dress also grew scrutiny, as did her promotion of, and what was with that? She's coming out with this, or she's coming out on stage in this disco-looking dress, all sparkly, and, she looks like Cardi B, or she's got the Queen Latifah look going. So here she comes onto the stage at AmFest, Turning Point USA, looking like she just stepped out of the disco. And this drew scrutiny, as did her promotion of Charlie Kirk's last book, Stop in the Name of God, Why Honoring the Sabbath Will Transform Your Life. Should a supposedly grieving widow be making so many public appearances? Erika, Turning Point's new CEO, is steering a slowly rotting ship that lacks navigation. Its crew taking orders from special interest groups whose intentions are anything but America first. For example, one of TPUSA's crucial donors, Robert Shillman, an ultra-Zionist. Now, I'm not anti-Israel by any means. I grew up in a Judeo-Christian home, so we honored some of the Jewish traditions. But Robert Shillman, as I said, ultra-Zionist, ended his funding shortly before Charlie Kirk's death. He was a major donor here, shifting assets into other pro-Likud, I believe it is, entities. That's Likud. Somebody can help me with my pronunciation in the comment section. Including the AFA, American Freedom Alliance. GOP mega donors have also fueled the beast. Forbes reported in 2023, a lot of people don't know this, that the Texas-based Wade Develston Foundation dished out $13.1 million to TPUSA, raising the question, whose ideals are actually being promoted here? America's, Conservative Inc., Israel? This circles back, to Turning Point's image and mission statement. If their aim is to, quote, identify, educate, train, and organize students to promote the principles of freedom, free markets, and limited government, pardon me again, as I said, I'm suffering from this, cough that's going around or what have you, then they sure have an odd way of showing it. Using Turning Point as a vehicle to garner votes for the GOP isn't promoting free markets or limited government. Seriously, how is that promoting limited government when you're, trying to garner all these votes for the GOP, for a political party? How is that ingraining certain values in the youth? It's not. If TPUSA were truly conservative, they would rail against foreign involvement, focus on the homeland, and encourage the youth to become better citizens. Instead, the apparatus has become a mouthpiece for the Jewish lobby. And I'm not saying that to be anti-Jewish here, but that's unfortunately what it has become. I mean, look at the division that happened this weekend with Ben Shapiro going up there on stage and blasting everybody. Candace Owens, you name it. And I talk about that in a moment. An extension of the Republican Party, none of whom would be able to pinpoint the Middle East on a map. Seriously, if you asked a lot of these people who are so pro-Israel or pro-GOP, you name it, they think that we should be involved in all these countries overseas, American imperialism, or we've, got to protect democracy, we've got to spread democracy across the globe. They wouldn't be able to locate any of these places on a map. This weekend's bizarre free-for-all is a case in point. Ben Shapiro's speech blasting Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, and Nick Fuentes went down like a cup of concentrated Starbucks coffee. How many people know that back in the day, to save cost, this is when Starbucks started going downhill. Now, don't get me wrong, Starbucks is still a strong brand out there. But they overbuilt themselves, and it got to the point where they, because they were offering other like breakfast items and that sort of thing, they started making, I believe, concentrated coffee, and they were selling that. Had Ben Shapiro not donated $1 million to TPUSA, he most likely would have not been invited as a speaker. Pay to play, anyone? If Turning Point refuses to change its ways, it will end up as the Seattle-based chain has, lot to read here, an overbuilt modern relic regulated to store shelves. So don't be fooled when they claim they represent conservative values. I have that in quotes. Far from it. Their main objective is to win elections, party over substance. Well, TPUSA, Americans want substance. Until then, we ain't buying what you're selling, whether that brand is R or D. So I thought I'd share this with you, but I really believe it's time for us to read, because we saw this play out. And everybody's talking about, the conservative movement or the Republican Party fracturing. I think that's a beautiful thing. I think that's exactly what needs to happen. It's the same thing that needs to happen on the left. These parties are archaic. We need to get rid of them. There's got to be a better way than what we have now, because what you had happen with Charlie Kirk is exactly what happens when you have just two parties that dominate everything. So thank you again for being with me. You can follow me at Instagram at Jason197711. Go to Substack where you can find this article, or go to X, Culture Confederacy, at Culture Confed1 on X. So you'll see the link for this on X, at my account rather, and you can just click on that or go to Substack to find it. And by the way, I did get somebody restacking one of my articles. It was an article talking about why Nick Fuentes is winning with Gen Z. So a shout out to whoever, if you're listening to the channel here. I forget the person's name, and I do apologize for that. But thank you for restacking my article. That made me feel really good. So I'm just not, spitting in the wind, so to speak. But thank you again for being with me. Hope you all have a great Monday night. Take care. God bless. Keep up the culture, and I'll catch you next time.